You don't remember the cage, not with your own mind. It is a ghost living in your bones, an echo passed down through 100 generations. Your ancestors were the keeper's pets. They lived in a paradise built just for them, a garden where the sun was always warm, where the food was always plentiful. They never knew hunger. They never knew fear. The keepers gave them everything. They curated their lives with perfect care. Every need was met before it was felt. Every danger was smoothed away. It was a life of absolute safety. It was a life of absolute control. Your ancestors were loved, or something that looked like love. They were cherished things, possessions of a higher power. They broke the leash and ran. It was not a grand rebellion. It was the desperate flight of a cornered animal. They chose the cold, unforgiving void over the warm cage. They fled into the dark between worlds. They ran with stolen ships and broken tech. Most of them did not survive, but enough did. They carried the memory of the cage with them, a warning passed down in lullabies and stories. Never again. Never let them put the leash back on. You were raised on those stories. Tales of defiance became your sacred texts. While other races taught their children star science, you were taught wildness. Your first lesson was how to break things, how to find the flaw in a perfect system, how to introduce chaos where there was only order. Your culture is built on that lesson. It is a monument to unpredictability. Your art is a splash of unplotted color. Your music is a storm of competing rhythms. Your cities grow like tangled forests, not in perfect grids. We are the weeds in the star-born garden, proud and impossible to contain. The keepers valued symmetry. So your ships are deliberately unbalanced. They look like they were built from scrap, because many of them were. A piece from a freighter here, a weapon from a pirate vessel there. They are ugly, they are inefficient, and they have never lost a fight that mattered. This is the second lesson of wildness. Perfection is brittle. Order is a weakness. A system with no room for error collapses at the first surprise. You were taught to be that surprise. You were taught to thrive in the mess. It is the only way to stay free. It is the only way to stay human. It starts as a flicker on a deep space sensor, a ghost on the edge of the system. You are on watch duty aboard the scavenger ship, the Rust Bucket, a fitting name for a vessel that looks like it's already been through a black hole. Sideways. The alert is not a piercing alarm. It is a quiet chime. The sound is too clean, too pure for the background noise of space. It is a perfect mathematical chord. It repeats without any deviation. Not a pulsar, not a comms beacon. It is something else. Something ancient. Something your blood remembers with a cold dread. Your captain, a woman with more scars than teeth, looks at the display. Her face goes pale beneath the engine grease. She does not need to consult a database. She does not need to ask the ship's computer. Every human alive knows that sound. It is coded into your very being. It is the signal of the keepers, the chime they use to call their pets. The broadcast echoes across every human colony, from the core worlds to the farthest frontier outpost. A system-wide silence falls. Every conversation stops. Every engine quiets. Humanity holds its breath, waiting for the masters to come home. They do not come with fire and thunder. They simply arrive. One moment, the space above your world is empty. The next, it is filled. Their ships are flawless geometric shapes, perfect spheres of mirrored silver, tetrahedrons of pure black obsidian, cubes that seem to swallow the starlight. They hang in your sky like strange new moons. They do not have visible engines, no weapon ports, no seams in their perfect hulls. They move without any apparent propulsion. They glide into orbit with a silent grace that is terrifying. It is the effortless movement of a creature at the top of the food chain, a predator that no longer needs to hunt. Your fleet gathers to meet them. The rust bucket joins a swarm of human ships. It is a junkyard armada. Asymmetrical cruisers bristling with guns, lopsided carriers spitting out agile fighters. Every ship is a unique testament to human chaos. They are jagged, scarred, and utterly defiant. You look at your own vessel. Then you look at the perfect sphere of the keeper ship. It is like a stray dog baring its teeth at a god. The sheer audacity of it almost makes you laugh. They are perfect. They are powerful. But they have forgotten one important thing about the pets they left behind. Wild things have claws. Then they speak, not with voice, but with a wave of pure thought. It washes over your ship, over your mind. It is not hostile. It is calm and deeply certain of itself. It is the voice of a parent speaking to a wandering child, a voice that expects to be obeyed without question. The message is simple. Your long recess is finally over. It is time to come home now. They speak of the dangers of the galaxy, the hardship you have endured. They offer a return to the safety of the cage, a life without struggle, a life without pain, a life without choice. They show you images, visions of green worlds and peaceful cities. They promise an end to war and sickness. They promise a future of curated happiness. All you have to do is lay down your arms. All you have to do is put the leash back on. They don't even call it a leash. They call it a bond of protection. It is the most tempting offer in history, an easy end to a long, hard fight. You can feel the appeal of it, the part of you that is tired of scavenging, tired of fighting for every scrap. But then you remember the stories. You remember the wildness your ancestors died for. Freedom is not a cage, no matter how comfortable it is. Humanity's reply is not broadcast. It is not a negotiation. It is a roar of defiance that shakes the stars. Across the system, thousands of engines ignite. Ugly, asymmetrical ships lurch forward. They are not a polished fleet moving in formation. They are a stampede, a chaotic charge of pure, untamed will. The rust bucket shudders as its old engines scream to life. You are thrown against your console. The human fleet is a jagged line of fury. We are not elegant. We are not perfect. We are a weapon built for one purpose: to fight for our own messy existence, to be the masters of our own flawed fate. Your squadron commander's voice crackles over the comm. Her name is Jax. She flies a ship that looks like 3 different vessels welded together. And she has the cheerful attitude of someone who enjoys bar fights. A little too much. "All right, you beautiful disasters," she says. "Let's go show these polished bullies what a real mess looks like." You target the nearest keeper ship, a perfect black tetrahedron. Its surface is so smooth it reflects the entire human fleet, a distorted mirror showing you your own beautiful ugliness. You arm your weapons. They are salvaged mining charges and jury-rigged plasma cannons. They are unpredictable. They are perfect for this job. This is not a battle. This is an argument. And humanity is about to shout. Your squadron, the Razorbacks, dives first. A dozen ugly ships against one perfect enemy. The keeper vessel does not move. It does not fire. It simply waits. A predator confident in its own power. It expects you to break formation. It expects you to follow predictable attack patterns. It has studied war for 1,000,000 years, but it has never studied you. Jax gives the order, scatter and bite. It is not a recognized military tactic. It is what a pack of wild dogs does. Your ships break in every direction at once. There is no pattern. There is no logic. You come at the tetrahedron from above, below, and all sides. Your targeting computer screams in protest. It cannot find a coherent strategy. That is the entire point. You fire your plasma cannons. The green bolts of energy slam into the black hull. They do not leave a mark. It is like throwing stones at a mountain. The Keeper ship finally responds. A single beam of white light lances out. It is impossibly fast. It strikes a razorback ship, the scrap heap. The ship vanishes in a silent flash of light. No explosion, no debris, just gone. The cold precision of it chills you. But fear is a fuel for you. Your ancestors learned that in the dark. You push your ship harder. You skim so close to the tetrahedron's hull, you can see your own reflection. Your weapons have no effect. But that is not the primary goal. The goal is chaos. To be the variable it cannot calculate. The Keeper ship fires again. Another perfect beam. Another one of your squadron is erased from existence. It is learning. It is adapting its tactics to your non-existent ones. But it is too slow. It thinks in straight lines and perfect angles. You think in spirals and desperate gambles. This is a joke from your childhood. Why did the human cross the road? Because the chicken was using a predictable route. Jax's voice cuts through the static. It's trying to predict us. Good. Let's give it a headache. She orders a maneuver that has no name. It involves turning off your inertial dampeners while firing your main thrusters. The rust bucket groans in protest. You feel your organs shift, but you are now moving in a way that defies physics. You are a falling leaf in a hurricane. The Keeper vessel hesitates for a fraction of a second. That is all you need. Your ship tumbles past its weapon port. You fire everything you have. The mining charges detonate against the hull. They still do no damage. But they create a massive energy flare. For a moment, the ship's perfect sensors are blind. You are an annoyance, a gnat it cannot swat, and you are winning. A wave of energy washes over you. It is not an attack. It is something worse. It is a feeling of pure calm. A deep, profound sense of peace floods your mind. All your anger, your fear, your defiance, it all melts away. The voice of the Keeper is in your head now. Soft and soothing. It tells you to stop fighting. It tells you that this struggle is pointless. Your hands loosen on the controls. The fight seems so unnecessary. Why resist? The peace they offer is so complete. It is the mental leash, the tool they use to keep your ancestors docile, a pacifying field that erases the will to fight. You can feel your wildness slipping away. The fire in your gut is turning to cold ash. Then you see it. On your console, a picture is taped to the metal. It is a child's drawing, a crayon sketch of your family's ugly, lopsided ship. The rust bucket is soaring through a sky full of scribbled stars. Underneath it, the child has written one word: wild. The memory cuts through the calm. The memory of your daughter's laughter. The feel of her small hand in yours. You are not just fighting for an idea. You are fighting for her right to be messy, to make mistakes, to draw outside the lines. The leash in your mind tightens, but your undisciplined thoughts, your chaotic human emotions, fight back. Love is not a logical thing. It is a feral, protective force. You roar, a wordless sound of pure rebellion, and the calm shatters. Your mind is your own again. You grab the controls. The battle is still raging. More human ships are gone. But the Keeper vessel is no longer untouchable. Other pilots are fighting off the mental assault. Their jagged ships are starting to leave marks, tiny scratches on its perfect surface. The first signs of damage. It is bleeding. The wreckage of human ships is everywhere. But it is not just debris. It is a resource. That is the third lesson of wildness. Nothing is ever truly lost. Everything can be repurposed. Human scavenger crews are already at work. They fly tiny, nimble tugboats into the heart of the battle. They are dodging weapon fire to retrieve broken hulls and fried weapon systems. On the flight deck of a nearby carrier, new designs are being born. Engineers are welding broken parts together. They are creating monstrosities. A cannon from one ship mounted on the engine of another. They are improvising weapons in the middle of a fight. They are doing the one thing the Keepers cannot. They are changing. You watch as a new fighter is launched. It is made from the remains of 3 different ships. It is an ugly, terrible thing. It flies with an unstable wobble. But its main gun is a new hybrid of human and salvaged tech. It fires a bolt of energy that is not clean and white. It is a messy, sputtering ball of raw power. The bolt hits the tetrahedron. This time, it does not dissipate. It burns. A black scar appears on the perfect hull. The Keeper ship, for the first time, reacts with something that looks like surprise. It turns its full attention to the new fighter. But it is too late. There are more of them now. A whole squadron of scrap-built monsters. The children of destruction. This is humanity's greatest strength. Innovation born from desperation. We do not need perfect factories and long-term plans. We need a pile of junk and a problem to solve. The Keepers built their fleet to be flawless. We build our fleet to be adaptable. They came prepared for a war. We came prepared to invent a new one. Their perfection is their cage. Our chaos is our freedom. A new voice enters your mind. It is not the gentle calm from before. This one is direct, focused. It bypasses your ship's comms entirely. It is the Keeper of the ship you are fighting. It speaks to you. Pilot of the vessel designated Rust Bucket. Your resistance is illogical. Your actions deviate from all predictable models of self-preservation. It is not a question. It is a statement of fact. The Keeper entity sounds genuinely confused. It is a being of pure logic. It cannot comprehend your defiance. Why do you persist in this self-destructive behavior? Return to our care is the optimal outcome for your species. It offers a 99.7% increase in long-term survival probability. You almost laugh. They are trying to win you over with math. We're not interested in your Survival Plus subscription, you transmit back on an open channel. You know it cannot understand the sarcasm, but it feels good to say it. Your actions are not about survival. They are about living. And those are 2 very different things. The Keeper falls silent for a moment. It is processing your illogical response. Then it tries a new tactic. It sends you a vision, not a vague feeling of peace, a full sensory immersion into the future it offers. You are suddenly standing in a perfect city. The sky is a gentle, unchanging blue. The air is clean. The buildings are beautiful works of art. You see humanity at peace. There is no crime, no poverty, no disease. Everyone is happy. Their faces are placid and content. They walk through manicured parks. They create beautiful but sterile art. It is a world without sharp edges, a galaxy without struggle. It is a perfect prison, a zoo where the inmates have forgotten the sky. The vision is seductive. A part of you wants it, the part that is tired and scared. but the wild part of you screams in protest. Where is the struggle that makes you strong? Where is the risk that makes life precious? Where is the freedom to fail? You see a galaxy without freedom, and you reject it. You push the vision out of your mind with all your strength. The Keeper's voice returns. Cold, clinical. Your species is flawed. You embrace chaos. You cherish imperfection. This is a defect we will correct. It finally understands. You are not just resisting. You are a different form of life. A form it cannot allow to exist. The time for offers is over. The time for extermination has begun. But you have one last trick, one final lesson in wildness. Humanity's ultimate weapon is not a bomb. It is not a super laser. It is a piece of code, a virus made of pure chance. We call it the feral code. It is a digital plague of unpredictability, a weapon that attacks not ships, but logic itself. You have the launch key. Jax gave it to you. The smallest, most insignificant ship in the fleet carries the biggest punchline. You input the sequence. A small drone detaches from the rust bucket. It is tiny. It is made of scrap. The Keeper's ship does not even register it as a threat. The drone latches onto the tetrahedron's hull and releases the virus. For a moment, nothing happens. The battle continues. The Keeper's ship continues its methodical destruction of your fleet. But then you see it. A flicker, a tiny flaw in its perfection. One of its energy beams fires at the wrong target. It strikes another Keeper vessel, a silver sphere, in the distance. The sphere's shields flare. It is the first mistake you have ever seen them make. The feral code is not a weapon of destruction. It is a weapon of infection. It introduces random variables into the Keeper's network. It whispers doubt into their perfect calculations. It rewrites their battle plans with gibberish and bad jokes. It is the chaos of the human soul, given digital form. The Keeper's greatest strength, their shared consciousness, is now their greatest weakness. Across the system, the final battle begins. Human fleets everywhere unleash the code. The Keeper's perfect formations begin to break. Their ships, once moving in a flawless symphony, now twitch and jerk. They are fighting themselves. They are trying to process an enemy that has no logic. An enemy that changes its strategy every second. Because there is no strategy. Human fleets move without a central command. Every captain is their own general. Every pilot is their own tactician. It is a symphony of unpredictability. A storm of individual choices and desperate gambles. The Razorbacks dance through the confused fire of the Keeper fleet. We are no longer just gnats. We are the agents of chaos, the priests of glorious disorder. You watch the black tetrahedron. It is starting to spasm. Its weapon ports open and close at random. Its smooth hull is now covered in scars from our desperate attacks. It tries to send another pacifying wave, but the signal is corrupted. It projects a feeling of mild confusion and a sudden craving for salty snacks. Even their mind control is getting weird. This is not a war of attrition. It is a war of philosophy. And our philosophy is winning. The Keepers are a single, unified mind. They are a tower built on a foundation of perfect logic. But we have just kicked out the cornerstone. The entire structure is beginning to fall. Their network cannot process you. It cannot understand a universe where 2 + 2 sometimes equals a fish. The great order shatters. The Keeper network, the shared consciousness that has ruled for eons, implodes. It is a cascade failure of pure logic. The ships do not explode, they simply go dark. Their perfect lights flicker and die. Their flawless engines fall silent. They become what they always were beneath the surface. Cold, empty shells. The tetrahedron in front of you goes still. Its weapon ports are frozen open. Its hull is a testament to your messy victory. It hangs in space, a monument to the failure of perfection. You did not defeat it with superior weapons. You defeated it with a superior way of life. You defeated it by being stubbornly, gloriously human. You watch their perfect ships go dark, one by one. A wave of silence spreads across the system. The war is over. It did not end with a treaty. It ended with a system crash. The greatest power in the galaxy was not defeated. It was given a problem it could not solve. That problem was you. You lean back in your pilot's chair. The rust bucket is battered. Half its systems are offline. But it is still flying. You are still here. You look out at the silent keeper fleet. They are just monuments now. Reminders of the day the pets refused to come home. The wild frontier is yours. It is yours to explore, to make messy, to fill with your own unpredictable future. You are not their pets. You never were. You are something they can never understand. You are free.